What's up everyone, welcome to 1/6 Figure Focus. You're very welcome to episode number 56 of The Focus, a live stream dedicated to all things 1/6 scale related. Really happy that everybody's here today. I see 12 people in the chat. People are coming in. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. It's Mother's Day in America, I believe. I understand that's why it was supposed to be over. Collector's Lounge was postponed today, obviously due to Mother's Day, but it'll be back on Lael 1/6 Scale Man's channel next week at the regular time. But in the meantime, I'm going to do a stream because I got something in during the week and I set it up yesterday. Well, actually, sorry, that's a lie. That's a blatant lie. I got something in just before Star Wars Celebration. It was a custom Luke Skywalker Ccfl lightsaber by ART15 Custom. And then during the week, I had two really exciting announcements. I got the Mando Luke Skywalker, the DX23, and a long coveted, long looked for brand new DX13 Terminator 2. But we're here specifically here to talk about if you're a Detolf collector, or even if you're not a Detolf collector, if maybe you want to get these fusion reactors or these Ccfl lightsabers, how do you actually do that and have it keep it clean? It might be a bit easier with module cases, maybe if you've got the black backgrounds, and maybe I've seen people line up their module cases with even black velvet and stuff like that. And considering that the Ccfl lights, the little wires that come out of the lightsabers are quite dark and thin, maybe it's a bit easier to hide them. With a module kit, or with a Detolf, kind of a bit harder to hide that stuff because of all the glass. But that was the challenge I had, and I think I've done a good job, if I do say so myself, because my next vision, my next step and vision for my collection is to bring in custom Ccfl lightsabers for the Jedis and Siths who have lightsabers that I really need them displayed with their lightsabers ignited. And what I mean by that is, I've got Obi-Wan up there, and he is in a pose where he doesn't need the lightsaber lit. He's kind of using the Force at one hand, and on the other hand, he's just taking it out of his hand, just like in New Hope, just pre-igniting it. And then I have the Snowspeeder Luke there, which is holding his grappling gun. So it's like, it doesn't necessarily need a lightsaber. But for those figures, for example, like your Vader or the Mando Luke, having a lightsaber fully ignited was the option that I wanted. And my next step in my collection is trying to get fusion reactors for those Iron Man or War Machine figures that really need it and will be elevated by using fusion reactors so I can keep them constantly ignited, and also Ccfl custom lightsabers for the Jedis and Siths that require it. And I want to be able to click one button and light up the entire display and all those sabers and fusion reactors. So I'm going to bring you through what the ART15 Custom Ccfl looks like, everything that comes with, the price of it, got it for, and all that kind of stuff, and what it looks like with the DX23, because I have to say, that DX23, it's just a beautiful figure. But the Ccfl, I definitely think it really elevates the look. They complement each other so well. So I'm going to show you how I put them together and maintain a clean display. Bit of little wire management. That's all it was, really. I'm sure other people have done it before, but yeah, I'll definitely. That's what we're here for, basics. So thank you very much to everyone who is here and joined the chat so far. Speaking of the chat, that's what we're going to do. We're going to address the chat. Okay, we got a lot of people here. We got some channel members as well. I've put the link, if you want to join and become a channel member, I've put the link in the chat there. So shout out to 12-inch Moose Stream. Salute you, sir, member of the ranks. Payden23, hello fellow collectors. We got Peter, Triple G Comics. We got Andre, another channel member. We've got Phil, Empire Strikes Again, channel member. Folks, really appreciate the support. Boba Fettuccini, channel member. We've got Austin, perfect timing. Glad to see you here. We got Clinton Martin. I don't think I've seen you around here before, but thank you for joining in. We've got Mark Mitchell, channel member. Salutes for all the channel members, troopers and commandos out there. Just going down through here. Keith, Blitz 0065. I see you caught that. I think the short that I put up on this. Yeah, these things are the real deal. I've got some photos for you. I'm actually sitting right in front of it, which is a part of me was thinking, oh, maybe I should put it somewhere where everyone can see it, like, you know, like as in one of these 3 shelves here, or maybe up here or over here. But 99% of the time I'm the one looking at the collection, like, you know, so I really wanted it in the center. But I of course I'll get out of the way in a second. I'll show you, but also I've got pictures and videos for you to outline the basically give you an idea of what it looks like in the collection, what it looks like in its own cube, just what it looks like in general. So Austin, St. Keith, myself and Austin and Keith met up at Star Wars Celebration London just about a month ago. Andre, channel member, how are you doing? Justin Nicholas just finished watching a movie with Rachel, wanted to come in and show some love to Shane. Next, going to spend some time with Mom Mew. Good stuff. That sounds like a good day. It's not actually Mother's Day over here. It was Mother's Day for us a few weeks or months ago. I don't know why. It's funny how the world just doesn't do Mother's Day on the one day, but I presume there's a reason for it. I presume there's a good reason for it. Smash the crap out of that like button, everyone. Look, that sounds like an order to me. Dan in Carbonate, how are you? 16 Focus, are you going to have the Ccfl infusion reactors on a separate plug outlet from the Luke lights? I heard those sabers get kind of hot. I have mine at 25% and so far so good, but I've only left them on for maybe an hour at a time. And I don't think you need to have them at 100%. It just looks nearly too bright. Sometimes less is more. But I'm going to keep an eye on them because, you know, I don't want my house to burn down. So Blitz, so I might just answer your question on a separate plug. What happens is each set of Luke lights, so I've got 5 Detolfs, a set of Luke lights for each. At the very end of them comes out as a USB. So underneath I've got a USB hub with 10 outlets, so I only need 5 and I used all 5. Well, I've used 5 and 5 are left. And what I've done then is that plugs into an adapter and that plugs into the smart plug on the wall. So the kind of, you know, so you imagine like there's just a plug on the wall and there's a smart plug which is connected to Wi-Fi. And then onto that then I have this kind of, it's like a two-section, it's an adapter with 2 plug sockets, and I had to do that because the actual plug that had the USB hub with the 10 USB outlets was kind of long, and then I'd have to have my Detolfs really far out from the wall. So it's literally socket, smart plug, plug with 2 adapters, basically an adapter, power adapter, and both of them are full now. One for the USB hubs, which are powering this, and one for the particular Ccfl, which I'll show you now. But yeah, I'm thinking going forward, I need to upgrade. I want to get a surge protection adapter. I want to get like an adapter with maybe like 5 different sections, 5 different plug options, and then maybe one with a bunch of USBs, so everything's going into the one thing maybe, and has surge protection, maybe a bit safer. But yeah, everything just gets plugged into that one smart plug, so one click everything turns on. That is the gist. Speaking of which, I'll just give you a demo of that now, right? So I've got a Nedis smart plug. I wanted to get Philips Hue smart plug, but I couldn't actually find them in the shop that I was looking for them in. And I saw this one, it was like half the price as well. And as soon as it was a bit finicky getting it like connected, but once it was onto the Wi-Fi, I literally haven't messed with it in over like nearly 2 years now. So this is just the app I have for it. So everything off, everything on. Okay, and now I'm gonna get out of your way here now. Just watch the middle one, watch Luke. Okay, so take down this comment. So you look here. So it's just kind of convenient, like, you know. I see someone. I think it might have been Keith actually wondering about the shirt. These are 6 Scale Scavengers t-shirts. I have like 4 of them. Someone was asking to post a link, but yeah, if you go onto Ccfl Scavengers, onto membership, that's where you'll find them. So at work, but fortunately no prying eyes watching me, so I'm watching Shane. That's funny. If I were you, I'd be watching those F-18s you work with. Ancient Silver Fox, Ian. Got 2 beers here. Cheers, buddy. That tastes like summer. Michael. So he's got his, not only his 1989 Jazz Inc. Batwing, but he's also now got his rooted Joker, In-Art Joker 2-pack. Congratulations. I thought Shane was a Grand Moth. A Grand Moth or a Grand Moth? No, definitely not. I've heard about all that Grand Moff crack with the Devil's Workshop. Hey everyone, taking a break to do some outdoor lawn work for Mother's Day. To tune in for a bit, make sure to hit the like button. Thank you very much. I was watching, I was in the gym today and I listened to your entire stream about the price of the Guardians Galaxy figures, and I quite enjoyed it, Ryan. And also, I hope your daughter's all right. You're saying she was a little sick, so I hope she's good. Peter, I had mine at 100 and it was too bright. Definitely too. It's just too bright. Like it's nice to have the option, but especially if, you know, in terms of safety and stuff like that, it's a happy coincidence that I think it looks actually better at 50 or 25% than it does at 100. But yeah. 16 Figure Focus, does CCFL do USB Darksaber as well as lightsabers? That's a great question, and I come prepared. Don't worry, we'll be taking a look at their website, and I'll bring you through everything that they sell. Oh, by the way, like, I don't have any agreement with them or whatever. I literally want to take my display to the next level. So there's a few I've ordered fusion reactors from one company, and I want to get a few lightsabers, but I just said I'm going to get one first because they're quite expensive, and if I'm happy with them, then I may order more. So yeah, I didn't have any like there's no like promotional deal going on. I'm not getting any kickback for it. Didn't get a reduced price. I just bought it, but I do like them. All right, so we're going to get through here. We're up to date. I had to buy a replacement brown cloak for my Luke after the CCFL I had melted onto the material. Okay, 25% it is. Thank you, Andre. All right, so let's get started on this. All right, so what's coming up on, just a bit of housekeeping there. So shout out to the members anyway. So there's 2 ranks in the channel memberships. There's troopers and there's commanders, and there's perks for the members. Shout outs being one of them. And of course, like if you are a commander, your name is on the outro to every live stream and every video. So shout out to the troopers. We got Payden23, Mugwump, Andre, Chudi, Bendu Windu, Collector Joey, Ryan Smith, Tyria, and the commanders. Shout out to the commanders: X-Man Supreme, 12-inch Moose Stream, Philip the Fool, Keith, the 6-scale Padawan, Mark, Mitchell, William, Owens, Brandon, Salad, Empire Strikes Again, Phil, Collecting Weekly, they're kind of a big deal. People know them. Boba Fettuccine. New videos on the channel. Rocket and the Good Dog. My thoughts on this pre-order preview of this drop or announcement of Rocket. This went up today, so this is my review of this particular CCFL custom lightsaber by ART15CUSTOMS. Of course, that's why we're here. We're more like a lot of the content that was in this video I'll be going over again, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on how I actually wired this up and how I did it to maintain the clean look that I like in my collection display. New streams. So the Hope Show, I'm trying to get more consistent with this, but I want to have a weekly show called the Hope Show at Greenwich Mean Time, Mondays 8 p.m. I'm kind of, at the moment, I'm doing it every 2 weeks. I want to get it to every single week, but life gets in the way, so it wasn't, I couldn't do it last Tuesday. So episode 1 is live, episode 2 is live. That's 8 p.m. Monday nights, Greenwich Mean Time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern Time, New York, and I think it's 12 p.m. West Coast. Okay, I did episode number 37 of Visions with Blue Tattoo, and then 38 with Dan and Carbonate, who is in the chat. So we sat down and discussed the past, the present, and the future of their collecting journeys. And here we are to talk about CCFLs. And if you have a Detolf and you want to get CCFLs, or if you have CCFLs, And I presume this hack will work for fusion reactors, but I've ordered a fusion reactor from my Mark 6 and my Mark 1 war machine, which are posed in the same cubelet Detolf next to each other. And I want to see if maybe the same approach will work. As in, can I wire it in a similar way that you can't really see it, or basically reduce as much of the wires that is visible as possible, because it's very hard to rule them all out, and be able to touch them, click them all on, touch a button. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so what are we going to be talking about? ART15 Custom. I'm going to introduce you to ART15 Custom. We are then going to discuss the price. I'm going to tell you how much I paid for everything all in. We're going to show you then a few photos of it set up in the hands of the DX23 Luke Skywalker, the Mando Luke, and outline, you know, basically how it works. Because I looked at them for a while and I was like, how does that work? Where do they plug in? How many adapters it take? Yada, yada, yada. And then how I wired it, just to kind of hide the wires and stuff like that. So we got Blue Tattoo here. How are you doing, Josh? Hope you're good. Really enjoyed the conversation we had last week on visions. All right, so first thing is first. So this is the setup I currently have. So when I walk in to the door here and I just turn slightly to the right, this is the setup that I have, because up behind me is my, Detolfs. Then this way to my left here is the door. So this is the way it looks like lit up. So the Luke lights are lighting up, and the Ccfl by ART15 Custom is there as well. So that's just where we are at the moment. Now I want to show you, I'm going to start off, I'm going to stay the course because we are going to be talking about ART15 Custom. So I want to just show you this. So Ccfl is just the name of the kind of, I suppose, technology of the blade that when the electricity runs through it, it glows or lights up. But lots of different companies and custom makers make these, custom Ccfl lightsabers. And the idea is that you can obviously plug them in, so you don't have to be worrying with those batteries, because let's face it, with the current Jedi or Sith characters, it typically is a removable arm which has a lightsaber in it, and then in the arm you put like 3 little button cell batteries. You take a long time trying to pop them in, then you connect it up, and it's a bit of a nuisance connecting the elbow piece back up. Sometimes they can break, and then the batteries die quicker than the time taken for you to put the batteries in, and a lot of the time they don't light up that well, or maybe the bottom part lights up and the top doesn't light up. Whereas the Ccfls, it's like a steady glow all the way to the end, apart from the very, very end tip of it, which I'll show you the little drawback on that. Anyway, so this is their website. So I'll just actually bring you to the main page here. Again, I got no kickback from these people. I got no special treatment. I'll tell you one thing. If this stream goes viral, I'll be asking for some. So if you're good at something, don't do it for free. Okay, so there is the link there in the chat. All right, now I just want to take a look. So when you go into their website, this is what comes up. They do a bunch of other stuff. Like they do like custom lightsabers, custom clone armor, Beskar Mandalorian accessories, that kind of stuff. So they do like a lot of custom work basically. Okay, so I'm just looking at, there's loads of stuff to do here. I think they're based in, I think it's France. I think it came from France, from what I remember reading the docket or whatever, the invoice I was given and whatever. So just into the lightsabers here, like this is really cool. They pretty much do everything, right? So you got Din Djarin's blaster with a little bit of blast effect here. You got a DC-15 clone custom 1/6 scale. Now they are not cheap. Straight off the bat, they are not cheap. Now this is something I'm interested in. Like I already know that I'm getting that Ahsoka, and I'm gonna get these blades. Like, so the Hot Toys one, not only do they not light up, but they're not USB powered. They don't even light up. There's no like batteries that go into them, so it's just like white pieces of plastic. I'm gonna figure that beautiful. I know it has elbow issues, but like I'll be being really careful with it, and I know a lot of people who got that figure were really careful with it and broke anyway, so I'm gonna be like uber careful with it. But I just need to nail a very, very simple pose with these two blades. I think I'm gonna go down this. So these come as a set, and they have the white light up blades. Obviously got so it's not just the blades, it's the hilt obviously and the blade. Some Ccfl makers, they get you to send when you get your figure, let's say if you get the Luke, they get you to send the lightsaber holding hand that comes in a box, the one that lights up. So usually if you haven't got a Jedi already, typically it'll be a swap out hand and it will have a lightsaber in it. It'll be already like fused into the hand. And in that arm up the elbow, there'll be somewhere where you can, like, you know, put in batteries or whatever. But some of the custom makers will get you to send it on, then they'll customize and send it back with the wires and stuff like that. These people here, you just basically tell them what you want and they make the hilt for you from scratch. And that's why I prefer it, because it's just I kind of like to keep my stuff pristine. I don't really typically mod them or stuff like that. Not that I sell much, but you know, a day might come, it's easier to sell something that's complete. But yeah, this is something I'd definitely be interested in, because like I said, she's on the way. 1.6 Jango Fett blaster and LED blaster. Sorry, 1.6 Jango Fett custom LED laser blaster. So they kind of do a few of these blasters with the, you know, as if it's just literally shot out a laser. I think that's kind of cool as well. 1/12 Darth Vader Black Series Ccfl. So there's some 1/12 there as well. So you have another Ahsoka Tano double lightsaber custom. I wonder, is that for the Clone Wars? Because I think this one up here, the first one was looking for the Mandalorian one, so that must be the Clone Wars version maybe. We even got like the Inquisitor ones. Darth Malgus, Darth Maul single, so I'm assuming they do the double as well. So like they do a lot of them. Rey yellow lightsaber, so Dooku. So they do bloody everything. So I just want to go down. So this one here, I love this photo they have promoting this. So this is obviously, it's the Return of the Jedi green lightsaber and hilt. It's the same hilt that they use in Return of the Jedi. And yeah, I love what they've done here with this wired cape and on the smoke effect and stuff like that. Now, they're quite expensive, right? So yeah, it's French because it says avec means with. So with the hilt, and I presume what that means there is you can get the saber without the hilt. I presume that means they just get this saber to you and you've got to put the saber onto the existing hilt or something like that. But like I just wanted it made like from scratch, ready to plug in, play. Like, so with the hilt plus €34. So already you're up to like, what's that, 108? The wired switch, or I get wireless remote control, another 15. So what's that? So you're talking 100. So that would be 100 and, sorry, that would be 109. And then 15, 120, 134. And then would this be like then Europe 144? That looks like it's actually gone up in price then. So if I just add this to cart. Yeah, no, that's actually right. Yeah, that's what I paid. That's exactly what I paid. But then I paid 31 shipping. So in total, it was €165. So that's the first issue. Very expensive. Very expensive. Now, with that being said, you'll see later on that there's a little piece. You'll have like the lightsaber blade, the hilt, a little wire, and then you get a blue box. And the lightsaber wire, the wire that powers the lightsaber, gets plugged into this little blue box. And I believe that's the blue box that the remote communicates with to, you know, turn it on or off or increase the brightness or change the settings. But there's two little ports. So if I was to get like the Bespin loop one, it would just be the €75. Still expensive. Straight out, still expensive. But I do quite like the product. But time will tell, like kind of, I want to kind of revisit it. Like I might be, you know, who knows, maybe in a few months time I'll be doing another review going, yeah, look, it's just after melting. I really hope I'm not doing that, but okay, so I'm going to catch up with some of this chat, which I'm falling behind on. This is a great question. This is a man after my own heart, Boba Fettuccini. Yeah, they're about from the bottom of the hilt to the little blue box, the remote, the little, I'll just show you the thing I'm talking about, the little blue box that has to plug into. It's about a meter, maybe a bit more. So like if I wanted to, I could have got it with my setup, I could have had Luke on one shelf higher, but I don't think I would have got away with it on the top shelf, because if I wanted to hide the wires in the exact same way I've done, because I wanted like, the only wires are exposed is a little wire that comes out the back of his cloak, and a little tiny piece of wire that goes in the hole that I drilled at the very bottom of the Detolf. But if you wanted to put on the top one, you'd need a longer wire, or you'd need to put the little blue box maybe on the bottom shelf of the Detolf, and I think that would look rough. You'll see what I mean when I show you, because I got photos and stuff like that. Good Mother's Day to all that applies. All others, most likely the majority. Okay, so Hot's hometown hero, Hot's hometown hero. AJ, how are you? Hey buddy, hope you're well. What are we getting into today? Yeah, CCFLs. So Smishy, smash the like button. Thanks very much, AJ. I do appreciate that. Dude, those are sick. Are you talking about the blasters and the lightsabers and stuff? They're pretty damn impressive. You're so corrupting me with this. I have a bunch of module cases on order and might have to do sabers as well. Well, that actually, you just reminded me. This live stream contains copious amount of enabling, FOMO and hype. Watching this may result in pre-ordering, loss of funds, and or relationship. Okay, so that's, you've been warned. Is it bad I want a USB saber? So the dude, right? I can't read that. I'm a school teacher. Mike, how are you? Uncarded reviews. How are you? USB and wireless charging. Treasure trove of USBness. That sounds wrong. Okay, so I'm going to move on. So look, that's where I got them from, and that's how much I paid for them. They're not cheap. That's the first kind of downside of these. All right, so let's take a look at some of the photos that I took. So this is my current setup. I took this maybe about half an hour before the live stream. So you can see there I've got 5 Detolfs. Obviously the middle Detolf, your kind of mind kind of almost splits the difference and goes straight to the middle. So I like the middle is like prime real estate there, like so. I have it obviously in the second shelf from the bottom. Here I could have actually put it on the top one as well, but I really wanted to keep the Iron Man Mark 6 and the War Machine Mark 1 paired together. I just think there's a lot of presence there. Plus, I'm looking to get fusion reactors for them, so I think that'll be a really cool centerpiece. So yeah, you have Luke, middle Detolf, second from the bottom. I'm just going to take another few angles here. This is what it's just straight on, so literally directly behind me. That's what it looks like there. I gotta say, that DX23 Luke, it is beautiful. Every so often I get a figure in that I'd be like, I know this will be good, but then it blows me away, like. And this, it's just beautiful. The head sculpt, like there's a lot of controversy about the head sculpt and stuff like that, but the head sculpt is great. I think it's the best Mark Hamill we've seen so far. It's definitely better than the Snowspeeder Luke, but I have the helmet on a lot of times, so it's kind of, didn't really matter. I wouldn't say it didn't matter about the sculpt. It still looks like him with the helmet on because they got like the lower part of his mouth right. But the head sculpt in this is really, really good. The tailoring is beautiful. That black Jedi tunic. The cloak drapes really well. And also what I like about it is you can incorporate the cloak, but the wired hood makes it really easy to shape the hood in such a way that you can expose the face. And just the way the light is actually hitting this now, because if you're looking at this, the right side, the left side of his face, the cloak is the hood is a bit further out, so it's almost slightly in shadow where you can just see half his face. That was just an accident. So the head sculpt looks great. The tailoring on the tunic looks great. I like the way it's a black cloak, because in my mind, Return to Jedi, I always thought the cloak was black until later on. Even like the hands, this hand is probably my favorite in terms of 1/6 scale figures. This is one of my favorite hand accessories, just that Jedi push, and he articulates really, really well. Like that pose there took me all of 2 minutes, like, and I just locked it in. I was like, this is great. Feet were flat, the pose was natural, and it just looked great. And that's what I wanted. That's when I saw this, I wanted to pose him with the cloak on, force push with the left hand, holding the blade in the gloved hand, and just out to the side, so it really kind of exposes, like if you're looking straight on, you can really see a lot of that that blade, like. So yeah, this is just lovely. And even the tunic is so nice. I considered posing him without the tunic, but sorry, without the tunic, without the cloak. But when I put on the cloak, I was like, no, there's enough of the tunic exposed, and you gotta have the cloak. So they're like, it's a simple pose, like it's a 2-minute job, not even, like. And even when I close the Detolf door, there's like that much space between his hand and Detolf. It looks like he's trying to shatter the Detolf. So if I come in one day and it's just like all shattered, I know it was him. I really want to get an R2. Keats just joined us here. Keats from Ireland. I'm looking at that Force Awakens R2, but I think the sequels were an absolute dumpster fire, and I don't want to bring that filth into my collection. No offense to anyone who loves them. I'm sorry. Just an opinion. I'm sorry. But I want to get an R2. I think they will eventually do I think the 40th anniversary one will eventually come. It didn't arrive from May 4th, but look, they're weird. It could come next year on the 41st anniversary. I do think they will announce it, but whether I get that one or go back and get the deluxe original trilogy one, or even the Force Awakens one could be a nice little stand in there, because I think the droid would look great if the droid was maybe slightly behind him and then put Grogu at his feet. God, this is amazing. Keith, have you ordered this already? Keith, you know Keith, you're looking at this. I'm actually chuffed with how well this turned out in terms of the figure, the pose, the Ccfl saber, and how clean I've managed to put this together. I know it's not perfect because you can see the wire. There's like two tiny, like they're like hair they're about as they're nearly hair thin. These two tiny little wires that come out the back, and I could probably even like twist them around to make them even like thinner, like. But you can barely notice it there now. But like, I mean, you'll see now how I managed to do it. So if you look at the wire that's just coming out the back from here, that's obviously coming out the back of the hilt, right? And then it comes out the bottom of the cloak, and I've left a bit of slack on it because in case I wanted to move them around or change up the pose. Also, I might want to have that half battle damage dark trooper, so maybe I get a fusion reactor for that and put it in the back. And so I could probably make that a little less obvious if I would a bit of maybe if I just tucked it down between the glass he's standing on and the glass at the back. I reckon I can make it even a bit more invisible. But I'm going to address the chat because I'm falling behind here just before I move on to the next part of this, the next photo. 28 people here. Happy Mother's Day if you're celebrating Mother's Day. Today we are not in Ireland here. We did it a few months back there. But are any preliminary plans on hiding the wires at Fusion? I plan to get reactors for Cyborg when he comes up for me. Well, Tremble Dust, like, does the wire behind the Luke bother you here now? Like it depends. Like for me, they're so thin it doesn't, because I mean that could be him, like, you know, after trash in the hallway and there's wire there or whatever. You just have to like not look at it, I suppose. I mean, I could try, like I said, I have an idea to try and hide that a little bit more, but I think I've done quite well when you see the rest of it, because you can't, this has to go down through another shelf. So if they're this thin, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think I'll just wire up all the, obviously they go in the back of the Mark 6 and the Mark 1 that I've ordered them for. And then if they're this thin, I'll twist them together, and I might even like tape them on the back of the leg. Think about it, like, because if you have them twisted together, tape them down the back of the leg of the figure, and then maybe put it straight back and a little bit of tape, and then send it down the grey supports as well. That's what I'm thinking so far. It may or may not work, because like a lot of the time, like I'm here now, I can see the tiniest bit of wire behind him, but I'm not looking at the wire because this is so awesome. What's up, guys? Man, quit enabling me on this, Luke. It's mind blowing. It's great. I'm not even. I know like people like get shit for enabling, but like I can't make you do anything. You know, at the end of the day, like who said it? Was it Ryan? Ryan had, I think it was Cigars and Bacon said it on Ryan's stream. You don't pay my bills, so you don't determine what I spend my money on. Like, and I suppose the opposite happens as well, Brandon. We all get hyped over things. Like, I'm not going to hide my hype for something because I don't buy everything. Like when I'm on the Collector's Lounge with Lael, it's a joke now. It's because he's like, I know you're not going to get this, going to ask you anyway. So like, I rule out entire lines. You know this, even following the channel. Clone Wars, never going to get anything from Clone Wars. Sequels, forget it. Even the prequels, I've got one figure from the prequels and I'm not really going down that line. There's things that I will rule out and things that I like a lot that I'll rule out. But when it comes to something like the DX13 or this DX23 Luke, and I'm hyped about it, I'm going to be hyped. I'm not going to hide that. Like, so I hope I don't enable you. It's not my goal. I'm just hyped about it. But Ccfl's worth buying at Boba. Maybe not from ART15, but if you have a couple, maybe red one from Vader, blue and for Luke. They act as amazing ambient light on the figures around them. Who would you recommend, Andre? I'm just curious. Like, would you not buy from ART15 because you don't like the product or because they're too expensive? Because I have to say, if it's too expensive, I totally agree. They are quite spenny. But I'm curious to see who would you recommend and if their quality is as good. Because sometimes, like, even though I know it's expensive, if I look at something else for half the price and I'm like, okay, it's half the quality, then I'm like, nah, I'll just shut up and put up, you know what I mean? But let me know, like, or even if you want to link me to my Insta so I can maybe get a frame of reference and check out some other ones. Has anyone else seen the awesome 1/12? I have not. Dope display and collection. Thanks, Peyton. Appreciate it, Keith. So what else we have? That filled into my collection. That R2 is fantastic. Wash them out. R2 is R2 though. You could, like, I wouldn't be able to tell if you lined up like the R2 from Force Awakens, the R2 from Original Trilogy, and didn't have any of your gadgets out, I mightn't be able to spot the difference. Did I get the Dark Trooper? I got the busted up Dark Trooper, yeah. Got himself as well. Yet another Grogu. He's fairly cute though. I can't get over how big this yoke is. Now, to be honest, I gotta say, I put it in behind Luke there as if he just like crushed him up and he was still suspended like a lot of people did. But because he's not lit up, he just looked so dead. So part of me was thinking, oh, you should have got the regular version. So, but the other part of me was going, get fusion reactors for this and just see what it looks like. But it's huge though. Like, it really is huge. I'm gonna move on now from this photo. I just wanna, Mike, Saber looks amazing, man. Appreciate it. And you know what? It's one of those things like I'll be on live streams now and it was easy to look at the DX19 because I just had to turn my head to the side, or the In-Art Joker, or the Boba head sculpt. These things that mesmerize me. But now I'll be like, I like the way he's front and center as well. But yeah, an R2 to his right and a little that little Grogu to by his feet would make that look cool as well. One six-figure focus. Does the tip of the saber, I'm just waiting for people to make jokes about the tip, look as bright at 25% like in the pics? Or is it just the pic? Does the tip of the lightsaber look just as bright at 25% like in the pics? Or is it just the pic? In the pic, that's strange. Because in this photo, the tip actually looks a bit dimmer. And in general, no matter how bright you put them, the very, very tip of the CCFLs doesn't light up. And from speaking to people who make them, I understand that that's common. So yeah, the tip actually doesn't really light up that much. I'm not sure what you mean there, Boba. Could you clarify there? But maybe to be honest, the photos don't do it justice. I know that's kind of a real cop-out, but the camera picks up the middle of the saber as pure white, whereas I look behind, it actually looks more screen accurate. It looks more of a green. But the tip tends not to light up. I need to stop saying tip. So if you have some sort of floor, you'll never see that wire. Yeah, this is where module cases get a win, and this is why I was so happy with this, because I thought, oh, I'll never make this look nice. But this is where module cases, or if you have like the garage shelves with, you know, black background, or even if you have Detolfs and you're doing this on the bottom shelf and they're the black ones, you'll never see that wire. Like, because even now it's all glass and they're lit up, and I've got the cool white lights, but you don't really notice it because I'm so blown away by looking at the figure. But yeah, you're absolutely right though, AJ. And the thing is, I reckon I could do better on this. Like, I'm not going to put a black floor down. I like the glass Detolfs, and it just doesn't bother me enough. But I think I could, like I said, wedge it with a little bit of tape, wedge it in between the glass and the back, but I'm happy. But Anthony, thank you so much for that. You absolutely did not have to do that. I really do appreciate that, man. I've nothing to say. Enjoy a drink on me. Thank you, man. I really do appreciate it. And thanks for watching. I don't have to introduce Anthony. If you haven't actually subscribed and following him, you're probably doing it wrong. But I was watching in the gym today. I started off listening to. I listened to, and this morning I was listening to Mr. Mom's Collectibles, his show on is the Guardians line overpriced, and I quite enjoyed it. And then I kind of listened to that, and then I had maybe half an hour left in the gym, and I started listening to, I'd always listen to your Saturday night's show on the Sunday, yourself and Rob and Jay. I gotta say, man, the AI conversation just, yeah, that definitely resonated with me, because of, even in school now we're seeing that ChatGPT, and like there's education in Ireland. I've seen a few like seminars and stuff that teachers are doing about it and stuff like that, about AI and the use of AI, because, you know, it's gonna affect all of us really. But I really enjoyed the AI chat. So Anthony, thank you very much. I really appreciate that super chat, and hope you're well, man. So Hot's hometown hero, 5k Tony in the house. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mafia, nothing to say. Who you trying to kid? Phil, you're giving shit to Mafia. It's still early. It is still early. I hope you've had your coffee, man, because it's about like 7 for us, but probably what, 11 for you. I was thinking you could run the wire straight back, then along. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, 100% Keith. Yeah, 100%. See, I wasn't sure. I wanted to leave a bit of slack in case I want to repose, but I could just commit, and then if I ever want to repose, I just have to cut the cable ties, which I will show you. Okay, I need to fly through some of these comments. I have Return to Jedi Luke, but the Mando Luke is far superior, enabling alert. Cool. I am more than happy to pay more for something. Yeah, same. Not into buying cheaper versions of something multiple times. Yeah, it's like my friend, the guy who taught me to snowboard, he was always saying, when you're getting your kit, you get what you pay for. You know what I mean? If you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Like he just said, when you're buying like bindings, you know, the things that keep you on the board, they're kind of important. The board, the boots, the hardware, even the clothes, like, you know, you want to get a good kind of like, you know, waterproof stuff and stuff with insulation. He just said, like, spend the money, but spend it once. I suppose it's like buy nice or buy twice. But every now and then you see really good deals. But Andre said just a bit too expensive from ART15, but nothing wrong with the work. It's fantastic. Now there's a little caveat to that. I'm in agreement. I'm like, I got like no discount. I got like no, if you do review, we'll knock 20% off. It's not like that. Like with Lion Rock, like, I'm very open that it's like, hey, look, I'm after this figure. I can find it for this price, and this price. This is the cheapest. Can you beat this? And when they do, yeah, I give them the review and a shout out. No problem. But I don't buy figures to review. I buy figures because I love them. If I can get a cheap deal, it's super. But with ART15, I was more like, I want to buy this, and if I like them, I might buy another one. But yeah, there was no thing. But yeah, there is something. Just stay tuned to the end of the stream. I'm going to get through these photos because I want to show you how I wired this up. No reason Attack of the Clones R2 couldn't double as Sailbar. Yeah. This is the thing, like I'm kind of Vader blind and I'm R2 blind. You totally need a fusion reactors for the Dark Trooper. Yeah, man, who's enabling who now? Who's enabling who? Not a fan of this. I have one for Darth Maul. They get hot they start to hang over down. Yeah, I really hope you're wrong. No, man, I do appreciate that, because this is like, I'm so chuffed with this. Like, this made my weekend. Like, you know, I had a good weekend, but I just loved it. Like, but I'll be sickened if a few months I come in and it's just like, yeah, like playing pool with a rope. So are you going to get the stunning and brave Reva to go next to the mediocre male Luke? Okay, moving on. So lucky it's not Mace Windu, purple saber. Oh, Jesus, man, what? You're banned. You're banned. 164 in the pic. The tip looks brighter. Damn it, Ian. Looks brighter and greener than the saber. It does look greener, yeah. Maybe it has an infection. Moving on. So as opposed to the reflection on the glass. Yeah, do you know what? The reflection in the glass looks a bit more like it actually looks like with your eyes, like in hand, in person. But the camera, the way it takes the photo, it just, because it's so bright, it just gets bleached out. But it's kind of the opposite in real life, if you get me. It looks really bright and a bit dull at the tip. So good way to hide the wires, maybe to include the diorama. Yeah, good idea. Appreciate it, bud. Scary times. Yeah, the lol, purple tip, lol, infection. Ah, jeepers. Mike, mom time now, but here's a couple for saber funds. I'm probably going to need it by the sounds of things. Mike, I really do appreciate that. And yeah, look, enjoy Mother's Day, and yeah, have a good time. Have a good time with your mom, man. That's and I do appreciate that super chat. You didn't have to do that. I really do appreciate it. Okay, cool. Right, I'm up to date with the chats. So next photo, I'm gonna get you some of these photos. I don't want to be keeping you hostage. I think girlfriend has come back now, so she'll be like, gotta watch a movie or something. So I just love this. I'm just stoked. Like, and I got the DX13 in during the week. Like, and I thought that, like, don't get the DX13 is amazing. And like, this is a bit of recency bias here with this Luke maybe, but the DX13 is like, I was way too young watching Terminator and Terminator 2, and I wanted that figure for the longest time. Like, but this was like amazing as you know, as amazing as well. I didn't expect. I thought I'd be like ogling over the DX13. I did for a massive part of the week, but I think just the fact that I got this set up with this pose and the saber and stuff like that. So you can see that's basically, you can see the tiny wire there, and like Keith said, I could probably do something to hide that a bit more. So it can be done if you're a Detolf collector and you're worried about hiding wires and fusion reactors and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it can be done, but a little bit of imagination, creativity, and a few grey cable ties. The hilt as well, by the way. The hilt is legit. I don't think it's not die cast or anything. It's obviously, I presume 3D printed and then painted, but it looks kind of metallic. And I compared it to the normal one that comes with the figure, just the regular one that you can hang in his belt. It's very, very similar, but this one is a bit thicker, and maybe that's to do with, like, just slightly, but maybe it's to do with the internals or something like that. But because it's that bit thicker, it fits more secure in the gloved hand. I actually quite like it, and it's just there was no issue like fitting it in, but it was a nice snug fit, keep straight face. And then you can see the wire coming out the back there, but obviously you can't see that from any sort of a distance because it's the same color as the cloak. So then this is directly behind him. So if you look here, just to his right bottom corner of the Detolf, what I've done is I just put this. Now I could definitely tuck that down here, but look, I wanted a little bit of slack. So if you can see, there's actually a tiny cable tie there, and it's grey. It's the exact same color as the kind of, I presume they're aluminium supports, the frame of the Detolf. And I got them with the Luke lights, because when you order the Luke lights, they give you all the stuff to set them up, and they give you a packet of cable ties, these grey cable ties, which are color matched to the frame of the Detolfs. And I really like that. Also, they give you like twice as much as you need. You don't need that much to you know, clip the wire down below. So what I did was I just used one cable tie there, and actually, no, it's a full cable tie. Just cut off the long bit after you've tightened it against the support. So that's it a bit closer. I could have probably cut that one off a little bit closer. And then I ran the two thin black wires of the Ccfl down this rod. And like, I'm going to show you a video now. I'm going to show you a video and you'll see that you cannot actually see the wire on the whole rod because I've made it really, really tight, and I have the cable tie, only two cable ties, one at the top and one at the bottom, and twisted it before I did the final tightening, so you can't see that. And then I drilled a hole in the Detolf. Now, I went back and forth with this, and I considered like lifting the glass up a bit and popping the wire out. I thought that would have been ugly and cumbersome to do. That was time in my life I wasn't getting back. I considered, you know, running it forward and out the front, and I think that would look ugly. So I just got a drill and I drilled a hole. Now you might be thinking, why didn't you, that's a bit of a random place to drill that hole. Why didn't you drill it right next to the rod? But if you have Detolfs, that rod goes down through the base at the bottom, and then there's a big rubber foot on the bottom. So then I drill right through the rubber foot, which is basically what they stand on. I couldn't do that. So I had to like measure out so that when I drilled, I could drill close to the corner, but I wouldn't actually cut down through the blue thing. Also, I couldn't put it any closer to the back because the drill has to spin, and it literally wouldn't spin up against the glass. It would just smash the glass. So yeah, I drilled that. I'm thinking I'm going to do this to all of my Detolfs as well, so I can feed any wires for future Ccfls down through them and future fusion reactors. So that's where I'm at the moment. I think at this point I'm going to show you the video. So I'll address the chat really quick and then I'll show you the video. I love this comment. I love this comment. This is right up my alley. On August 29, 2027, ChatGPT became self-aware at 2:14 AM Eastern Time, Judgment Day. Creepy, but right up my alley. 16 figure folks, I'm stealing that Mando pose. I'm pretty sure I stole it from the show, or I know every other reviewer so far. Yeah, it looks at work away. I'm not. I steal poses the whole time. I'm not sure about the Luke pose. It's great, but reminds me a little bit of Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard when she's on stage. That's exactly what I was going for. I won't sing for you today, but no, I actually love that pose. That's because Whitney was force pushing the camera in that scene. Jedi Houston. That's good. I love the Ahsoka dual Ccfl saber. Yeah, that is what I'm really looking forward to. I've got the Jedi you want. I've got the Force you need. That's funny. Okay, so I'm going to show you that video now. If I can find it. Where is that video file? Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you a kind of a video of the setup. Okay, just take a look at this and let me know what you think. Cheers. So you can see, you can't see the black wires because it's really taut. The wires are really tight or taut behind that grey metal rod. And that's only two cable ties, one at the top, one at the bottom. So you can see that cable tie there, and then the cables disappearing into the hole which I've drilled. Might actually have another go at that hole there because it looks a bit rough. Definitely. Okay. All right, so back to this. So then underneath, this is the messy part. So underneath them, so this is directly under the Robocop. Obviously you have Robocop, and then on top you've got the Luke. So the wire would have come out the back of Detolf's underneath the bottom, and then out the back, and then I've connected it into this blue box. This all comes with it now, so you get the saber, the hilts, the wires, the blue box. And if you look at it, this blue box, see those two white wires? Basically the black wires have like a white coating on them. They're a bit insulated basically just before they plug into this blue box. But you'll notice there's two ports and I'm only using one. So to Andre's point about them being expensive, you're 100% right, they are. I wish they were cheaper. But if I say get Besman Luke, and I want to get the blue Empire Strikes Back lightsaber, which I will, because from my memory, Besman Luke isn't USB. So I mean, logically it would make sense to wait and see if the Hot Toys USB lightsabers are any good. But because that Besman is not a USB powered lightsaber, because the first one I think was the first one they announced was the Kenobi one, I could just order that and it would just be the saber and the hilt and obviously the wires. So I wouldn't have to get another one of these boxes. So I wouldn't have to get another one of the plugs, because this is powered by the same plug. I wouldn't have to get another remote. So it'd be like 75 and then the shipping. Still expensive, I gotta say, still expensive. But yeah, so that plugs into that. And I wanted to hide this because I won't be using this. I won't be using the remote. I'll literally just set it to 25, and then this is going to be hooked up to the smart plug anyway, which will turn it on or off. So basically, the wire comes out of the blue box. It connects here. This white adapter connects to the black adapter, this black wire, and then it goes into, see the adapter on the right with the green light. So that's the actual plug. That's the EU plug. And if you order from America or somewhere else, they give you the proper plugs. You have options. So that's my setup then. So if I work them backwards, yeah, and then you got the remote. It can turn it on, it can turn it off, it can increase the brightness, it can decrease the brightness, it can set it to 100% brightness, 50% or 25, which I'm using. The modes then, if you look at the video I put up earlier on, it can basically pulse or flash, or it can like pulse really, really fast as well. But I won't use that. I'm nearly going to set it to 25 and I'll put that away, and my smart app will control that. So, and then this is just a smart plug. I literally put that in 2 years ago, connected it to the internet. It hasn't given me any issues. So that plug there is the smart plug, the one with the light on it. And you can see just a regular plug just behind the Detolf. And going back then, this power adapter has 2 slots. The slot on the right is the one that's powering the Ccfl. The one on the left there, the kind of bigger, awkward looking one, that's for the USB hub. It's a 10 port USB port, and like I'm using 5 of them, one for each of the Luke lights, so still 5 free. So even if there is USB powered lightsabers, I could probably feed them down into that. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this. So I just want to go back. So that was the setup. And this is what it looks like. So that's when you come into the room. Oh, I just love this. Yeah. Commander Green, how are you? Thanks for joining us there. Tremble Dust. I just can't say anything right here now. It was just a bit rough. It needs to be smoothened out. That's all I'm saying. Folks, pretty much going to leave it there. Thanks very much for joining me. Just coming in under an hour. I'm buzzing about this, clearly. Apologies for the hype. But yeah, just little simple wins that make your day. Thank you very much to anyone who's taken the time to join us here today, tune into the live stream, or if you're watching on the replay. Thanks to anyone who's ever taken the time to watch any of the videos, like any of the videos, obviously subscribe to the channel. We hit 2,000 subscribers, really happy with that. So if you want to, if you're watching now and you've enjoyed this content and you want to see more content like this, consider hitting the subscribe button, and maybe just delve in to have a look at some of the videos. There's lots of shorts there, there's unboxings, there's reviews, there is live streams. Actually I got this figure here, the Luke Skywalker DX23 and the DX13. You see it there? Oh, sorry, I'm gonna go full screen here. So you can't really appreciate it there from there, but I've got the heavily battle damage. Comes with 2 sculpts, one more severely battle damage. So I've got the more severe one there on. Got the bandolier with the grenades, got the grenade launcher in his right hand, and he doesn't have a left hand because I've swapped out the regular jacket for the jacket with the left torn arm and the damage. I wanted that figure for years. I'm really happy. Massive shout out to the channel members, all troopers and commanders. Do appreciate you watching and joining and supporting the channel. So also, if any commanders would like to send me photos of their collection, maybe once a week on a live stream, I will maybe focus, no pun intended, on a different commander. So maybe, I don't know, maybe if Phil wants to send photos of his collection, I know X-Man Supreme said he's going to send me some photos on, and I'll just showcase them. Maybe just take a little, maybe just take 5 minutes every stream to appreciate some of the commanders' collections. What's coming up on the channel tomorrow night? Yeah, I am doing a show tomorrow night. I'm definitely going to do one. Hopefully we get some drops in between now and then. So the Hope Show episode 3 is tomorrow, Greenwich Mean Time, 8 p.m. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Time or midday West Coast. I also have to unbox and review. I've already unboxed, but I have to review the DX13 and the Mando Luke 23. I'll actually do a little comparison on the lightsabers there, I think, as well for that one. Shout out to Lion Rock Toys who gave me a deal on those. So and excellent customer service as usual. So I am out of here. Thanks again. And where do I have the outro? It's the new outro that shows all of the commanders. So again, if you become a channel member and you join the commanders tier, you will get your credit in the outro. This one right now. Thanks, folks. See ya. That is 100% the wrong one, and that's going to catch me for a copyright strike. I'm going to have to mute that out. Where on God's green earth? Here it is. Here it is. I'm definitely going to get copyright strikes for that. That was something different. Anyway, this one.